Straight from your mother's basement comes the Justice Friends blogs, the only show where it has purple people, Americans, and people who are related to Thor, like second cousins-ish. And joining you today is Fuyomama and Andre the Walrus.
Exactly. And I would first like to give you all a round of applause. Second of all, I would like to um, tell you guys something a bit unfortunate. For the next 5 weeks or so, our Fuyo Mama here is not going to be with us a lot. He's going to be here part time due to stuff in his school. So I reached out to an old justice friend to, help us out while Fuyo is gone. But that would be a surprise if he actually agrees to come back. I sort of
Which
doubt
is
it.
why we're putting it out publicly.
Exactly.
That,
it's a cliffhanger. Ooh.
yes.
Speaking of cliffhangers, this podcast is gonna be a more serious podcast. It's gonna be called. It's not
Nazi
called
zombies. They're
Nazi
a serious
Zombies,
risk.
also known as Osama Bin Laden.
Who may or may not be a zombie.
I would
Is
say
he
he is a
controlled?
zombie by now. So I would like to make the opening statement by saying that today, the day we recorded this, Al Qaeda has quote unquote officially confirmed that Osama bin Laden has been killed, which I say hooray. But on a more serious note, um this whole Osama dying thanks to Obama, it's a
Dude,
kind of to me it's more like a story that's it doesn't really make as much sense because it all timed down so perfectly because Obama already started going on a little rant with his Republican opponent, Donald Trump, which, frankly, come on. Donald Trump as president?
that would be wonderful.
Exactly. He would make the White House turn into a casino, in the words of Obama.
It would be like like though the entire it's like it'd be like a reality TV show, except the entire fate of the world would be like the end thing.
It wouldn't be the apprentice, it would be the president. And he wouldn't say you're fired, he would say, you're deported.
You're nuked. Whichever country does, he just sleeps with his nukes. But
So
actually,
continuing.
Andre,
I,
I think
okay,
Obama should get more credit than what he has because I actually have seen the footage because I'm actually friends with the president. I actually helped him on this. We have achieved technology where basically it's like Call of Duty technology where like you're controlling a real soldier, and actually me and him were playing like COD, except it was actually shooting Osama bin Laden. And I
and
was
then
like, dude, this is like better in difficulty. We gotta focus, OP. And he was like, we got this, dog. Pop a cap, and we popped a cap, and we won.
and that is when you woke up and fell out of your bed.
Actually, no, that was when I got into bed with Michelle Obama and Barack. It was kind of freaky, but pretty great.
Interesting. But yeah, going back to the serious notes, you see, a lot of people are sort of giving this story a little bit of a check because Obama did not have the most was not the most approved president. His whole what is it, the approval rating I think came
Yeah.
back before he quote unquote killed Osama, and he was down what, he was in 36%. No, I think
He was he
he was
was
at
at
30.
46.
Yeah,
I think
he was at like 36%. He won the Nobel Peace Prize, and it was spiked up to 40. And
a while ago.
yeah, that was a while ago. But still, it spiked up a little bit to 40. Then he beats per se Osama. I'm going to be using a lot of quote unquotes here. He kills Osama, and then bam, he passes 50%, and it almost spikes at 60, which is pretty interesting. Which makes you think, could this all be a political scheme? Because this, frankly, is not the first time that we hear that Osama bin Laden died. Actually, the
No,
ninth.
actually.
It's actually the ninth time, I think. I watched the.
When did you death? There's been
I
rumors, but this is the first time they've officially said they say it's been rumored. But
no,
this
no, I
time
know, but the
it's
rumor we're
been
talking about, like the ninth rumor of him dying. This one was actually confirmed. But
I mean, and if you said Al Qaeda like confirmed it, then I don't really think that they would really want to help President Obama in any way. Like
true.
I don't see any mass conspiracy.
But One conspiracy theory that I've heard of is quite interesting that actually caught my eye, which is that during one of these quote unquote rumors of Osama dying, that Osama may have actually have died a few years ago, but they were holding up for a situation like this to actually tell him, go like, oh wait, no, we killed him recently, which I kind of found funny because if you think about it, Osama having already been killed years ago, Al Qaeda would have already retaliated by that or would have said something. So these conspiracy theories are more there just to humor us because there are a lot of funny ones. Some conspiracy theories are that Osama bin Laden never was never a real person and that the CIA and FBI invented him to gain public
which is why this video.
notoriety. Yeah, it's kind of it's weird.
People are dumb. People are dumb. But beyond that, back to the, like you said, the actual world, not the conspiracy theorist worlds. Um, Osama bin Laden. I'm gonna be honest here. I mean, I think John Stewart said it best. For a lot of people, you're way too close to this situation to be rational. I mean, Andre, of course, he's lived up a little bit of America, a little bit of Brazil, so he sort of has the both cultures. But for a person who grew up in America, who saw 9/11, who was in the classroom watching the towers fall, you're way too close to the situation to be like, well, should we have killed this person? Should we have this
Um,
bloodlust? And you ask yourself this. You at the same point have to go, I'm a human and I am going to probably be like, yeah, like the inner like animal is gonna be like, yeah, get the bad guy.
One thing that I wanted to say is that I had today I had school and I was at history class or was it one of those, and I'm actually good friends with my teachers because history and geography are two stuff that I like, and I talked to them about this whole situation at hand because they were actually open-minded people. Other Brazilians here are just saying, "Oh no, that's just a political thing. USA sucks. Osama never died. He's still alive. Obama's lying." I'm like, fuck you, first of all. So I talked to my teachers, and they actually made a discussion in class going like, dude, Osama is dead. And they actually brought up a point that a lot of people are criticizing the USA for actually killing Osama instead of just taking him prisoner. Which then leads to something that my history teacher said, which I found incredibly intelligent, that if they had, in fact, captured Osama, and let's say they brought him here to the United States to give him a fair judgment, by then, Al Qaeda would have easily went into a school and said, if you do not release Osama, we're going to kill everyone. And they would. That's an example. They could go into a hospital, they could go into an elderly home. I don't know. So, was it a good idea for them to kill Osama at the spot? Of course. Was it a good idea for them to do the Islamic tradition, blah, 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 and bury him or give him a proper burial within 24 hours and then launch him in the sea so no one can ever see his body again? That was dumb. And I frankly do not believe that they did that. That is a harder story to believe, in my opinion. Fuyo, what do you think about this?
About you mean specifically the burial or?
Specifically the burial.
Well, I don't see. I don't think it's poppycock or anything. I think it's something that is entirely logical to do. I mean, you want to make sure to ensure that there would not be a memorial for Osama bin Laden because, frankly, that would inspire admiration for the guy, which should, of course, inspire more people to join Al Qaeda, more terrorists. It's a long chain of events, but it could happen.
Of
And
course.
I don't see why they couldn't do the proper 24-hour burial. I mean, I'm sure that people out there will want to see, show me the body, but even though we just got the guy, even though we just got our guy, even though there's still millions of other, not millions, but thousands of other people out there who are still out there, um, there's still international relations to be dealt with. I mean, this is still a delicate time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of decisions we're going to have to make, and I mean, it may seem like it's a minor thing, but it could affect if it's one person angry. It may just be good to have just buried him in the sea.
But it's not really a minor thing because some people are actually saying that Barack Obama basically won next year's election with this news, which I
It's
entirely believe. So it's not a
it's
small thing to kill Osama.
I no, the burial thing is a small thing. And
Oh,
Osama, um, I don't think it's going to win the election. I don't. I think if it was 6 months later, sure. I think it would be the boost that he needed during the campaign. But there's this things like this happen. Like you said, when he got the Nobel Peace Prize, it jumped some, it went back down. And I believe with Osama, it'll probably last for a decent amount of time. I won't say that it'll be like this week he's at 60, next week he's at 30, but I'm gonna say that I think it's slowly gonna go down because everyone has the America, heck yeah tune going in their brain right now.
true.
Well, at least those in America, which are
But
the ones that matter.
one thing that I wanted to say for you was that with Osama dead, I've been hearing a lot of people say, "Oh, this is gonna actually bring peace within other nations." As in, yeah, it's funny, but it actually seems to work
No,
because no. Bear with me here. I've heard news that after Osama died, I think it was Israel and another country. I think it was which one was it now? That they used Osama's death to say, you know what, this could bring us peace. Let's make peace together.
but a lot of the times there's Israel and there's Pakistan. I don't know if it was between these two. It's Israel and someone. I agree with you. I heard that, but someone from Israel actually gave the statement. We believe this to be a victory for terrorism, as in it was very much a compromise that was very one-sided to people who were more radical. Um, but
And
that's just
that
and
actually reminds me. You say that that's a victory for terrorism. That reminds me of a little saying that I heard that when the first man dies, the second man is 10 times worse, which I believe to be so because the second man to
that's
be the leader of Al Qaeda, which is I think it's a doctor, isn't it? Who thought Osama everything he knew that he didn't learn from the CIA. And I think the Al Qaeda is not only going to retaliate, but it's going to retaliate in much more brutal force than 9/11. This may be a little bit of a pessimistic view, but I think this is going to be big. Shit
I
is going to
mean
go down.
it's a fairly I'm don't know what to say about that one. I mean um 9/11 was a series of events that was led mainly, and I hate to say this, I believe the men and women that fought there on that day, or not fought there, but who worked the
Ah,
first responders were heroes. They are heroes. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. If you sit there and you try to save innocent people, that's the best thing you can do. But beyond that, that was a time and an era where we had not learned. We thought that we were this perfect little shell of protection, and we are not the same people that we were last then. The main thing I worry about with Osama is the second command guy. I worry about, but what I worry more about is that people will now think he's dead, he's gone, no big deal, and by that thought, they'll stop worrying. They'll start being aware, and I don't mean paranoid. I don't mean paranoid, but just be aware of their surroundings. So people will probably think, "Oh, the war is over. We've killed our man. Like Hitler was dead. World War II was won." No, actually went on for another 6 months, big dog. But beyond that, it's this whole thing of more about people's response to it, and I think, and that's something I want to talk about in terms of. I was just thinking, people say, "Oh, this is a revolution. Oh, this is new. This is." And I go on the news, and they're sitting there. They're talking to this lady whose husband died in 9/11. She goes, "My husband's still dead. This doesn't change it. There are still people out there who still want to kill us. The fact that their so-called leader's gone is doesn't matter because oftentimes they're separate entities that all work on their own. And I believe that that's definitely a thing. I believe that it's a big morale booster, but at the end of the day, I don't know if it's a major actual impact. I mean, it's a sad thing to say because we've spent so much time and money and effort doing it, but that was more of a revenge than a strategy.
well, this podcast coming to a close. We should probably record another one after this because this theme is actually starting to get a little bit good. So yes, we'll see you guys in the next podcast. This has been Under the Walrus and Fuyomama. This sequence of podcasts maybe the last time you'll see Fuyomama for a while, and so yeah, enjoy it. See
Oh
y'all in the
yeah.
future.